There's one particular detail about Ferrari's new engine that absolutely cannot be overlooked. Gualtieri and Serra revealed the secrets of the SF26's power unit during the presentation. What they said is incredibly interesting because it tells the story of a total technical revolution. During the Ferrari SF26 presentation, Enrico Gualtieri and Loic Serra explained in detail the changes introduced to the power unit for the new technical regulations. It's an extremely deep evolution that required completely rethinking the design approach and how the engine integrates with the car. From a technical standpoint, there are three main changes with direct impact on the project's philosophy. From the power unit perspective, several important changes have been introduced, Gualtieri explained. The three main ones are the increase in electrical power with an MGU-K 3 times more powerful, the introduction of an advanced sustainable fuel at 99%, and the removal of the MGU-H. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will change your understanding of Ferrari's 2026 engine. Here comes the interesting part. With the MGU-H removal, the engine returns toward a more traditional configuration. We're therefore going back to a traditional turbo engine, no longer electrically assisted, Gualtieri explained. This is an enormous change. For years, the MGU-H has recovered energy from the turbo, keeping it spinning and recovering energy that was redistributed. Now it's gone. The turbo operates traditionally without electrical assistance. It's a return to the past with modern technologies. These changes imposed a radically different approach to power unit development. All these changes required a completely different approach to the general power unit design philosophy, Gualtieri continued. It's not just modifying components, but rethinking the entire design philosophy. Despite the greater weight of the electrical component, the combustion engine remains central. We continue nonetheless to focus on internal combustion engine efficiency, because energy flow limits make this aspect fundamental, Gualtieri explained. This is a crucial point. Even though the electrical part is 3 times more powerful, the internal combustion engine remains the heart of the power unit. The energy flow limits imposed by regulations make it absolutely essential to squeeze every bit of efficiency from the thermal engine. The hybrid system has also been deeply rethought, not just in components but in how it communicates with the entire car. The hybrid system has also been profoundly modified in terms of design and will be another key element for development and functionality, Gualtieri explained. It's not just about having a more powerful MGU-K. It's about how this MGU-K communicates with the engine, with the battery, with the electronics, with the chassis. It's an integrated system that must function as one single unit working in perfect harmony. Here we arrive at the detail that cannot be overlooked, which is the central point of everything. The power unit becomes an integral part of the overall architecture. Overall, the power unit has become, more than ever, a completely integrated part of the car's overall architecture. Everything has been designed in an extremely integrated way, Gualtieri said. This is absolutely fundamental. You don't design the engine on one side and the chassis on the other, then put them together afterwards. You design everything together from the very beginning. Engine and chassis constantly communicate throughout development. Every single choice on one directly influences the other. On the topic of reliability, Loic Serra also intervened, reiterating how this aspect remains absolutely central despite the major regulatory change. Reliability is not more important than it was in previous years, Serra clarified. It might seem strange to say it this way, but the point is that reliability has always been fundamentally important, and still is today. It hasn't become more important. It's always been an absolute priority for Ferrari. When you design a solution, you must always consider that it needs to be reliable, Serra explained clearly. With the introduction of new solutions, the challenge becomes even more complex and demanding. With a new regulation and new constraints, for example with active aerodynamics, it's not just about the concept itself, but also finding solutions that work and are reliable, Serra said. This is the point. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world, but if it doesn't work reliably, it's worthless. Especially with active aerodynamics being an absolute novelty, you need to find solutions that not only work, but are also reliable race after race. It's an absolute priority in development, Sarah reiterated. It's not a secondary aspect to think about later, it's the foundation of everything. Every component, every system, every solution is also evaluated in terms of reliability from the very first moment. Gualtieri and Sarah's words thus outline a Ferrari SF26 conceived as a single system, where power unit and chassis work together from the foundations, with the goal of facing Formula One's new technical era with solidity and efficiency. One particular aspect that deserves attention is the advanced sustainable fuel at 99%. It's one of the three main changes cited by Gualtieri, and represents an enormous step towards sustainability. Moving from traditional fuel to 99% sustainable fuel isn't trivial. It changes combustion characteristics, it changes efficiency, it changes everything. Ferrari has worked extensively on this aspect together with its partners to develop fuel that's both sustainable and highly performant. The other fundamental change is the MGUK 3 times more powerful. If before it recovered and released a certain amount of energy, now it manages 3 times as much. It's an enormous leap that completely changes the car's energy management strategy. More electrical energy means more power on straights in boost mode, but it also means significantly more energy to manage, more heat to dissipate, bigger and more powerful batteries. It's a change that touches every single aspect of the power unit and the car's overall design. The MGUH removal is perhaps the most radical change of all. For years, the MGUH recovered energy from the turbo and kept the turbo spinning at high speeds, eliminating turbo lag completely. Now it's gone, the turbo operates in a traditional way. This means you need to manage turbo lag in other ways, optimize turbo geometry carefully, work extensively on engine mapping. It's an important technical challenge that Ferrari has faced by completely rethinking the approach to the turbo engine architecture. So let's recap the detail that absolutely cannot be overlooked about Ferrari's new SF26 engine. Gualtieri and Sarah revealed the power unit's secrets during the presentation, telling the story of a total technical revolution. The three main changes are MGUK 3 times more powerful, advanced sustainable fuel at 99%, and MGUH removal. With the MGUH removal, you return to a traditional turbo engine, no longer electrically assisted, a return to the past with modern technologies. These changes required a completely different approach to the general power unit design philosophy. Despite the greater weight of the electrical component, the combustion engine remains central because energy flow limits make thermal efficiency fundamental. The hybrid system has been profoundly modified in design terms, not just in components, but in how it communicates with the entire car. And here's the detail not to overlook. The power unit has become more than ever a completely integrated part of the car's overall architecture, everything designed in an extremely integrated way. Sarah reiterated that reliability remains an absolute priority in development. When you design a solution, you must always consider it needs to be reliable. With new regulations and new constraints like active aerodynamics, the challenge is finding solutions that work and are reliable. A Ferrari SF26 conceived as a single system, where power unit and chassis work together from the foundations to face Formula One's new technical era with solidity and efficiency. This is the detail not to overlook,